Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Yeah, Australia's like a casual 16-hour flight away, so that response may take a bit of time. But Rugby World Cup 2015 is here and underway in England and Wales, so TYT, let's talk about it. So my name's Dylan Cleary, I grew up in Sydney, Australia, and I started playing rugby since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I love this sport, I've grown up watching it, and now that I'm in America, I don't get it anywhere near as much as I would like. Streams are always on at like 3 a.m. in the morning, but Rugby World Cup, that's different. At least that gets televised. So I am stoked and I'm ready to talk about the things that I've seen so far and what I would like to see for the rest of the tournament. So here we go. These are my top 5 things from Rugby World Cup 2015. So my obvious and most glaring factor for the World Cup so far is South Africa. They lost to Japan. And that makes me so happy, I'm going to say it again. South Africa lost to Japan. Score was 34-32. This was the biggest upset in Rugby World Cup history. It's not even close, it's not debatable. It is, it's a fact. Japan had only won 1 out of their previous 24 World Cup matches, and to now defeat the 2-time world champions is huge. Even though South Africa's form was poor heading into the World Cup, they lost the Rugby Championship being defeated by Australia, New Zealand and Argentina, who are all some good sides. You still should expect them to, or everyone expected them to beat Japan. So now they face potentially not making it out of the group. If they lose to Scotland, then they're going to be in a real predicament because even if they come out of the group now and they come second, they're potentially going to face either Australia or England straight away in the quarterfinals, and that's what neither of them would have liked. So number 2 for me is Israel Folau. Izzy Folau is the Wallabies number 15. He plays at the bat, he can see everything, he reads the play, he can join the attack, he's the last line of defence. Many people have tipped this tournament to be a tournament where he can absolutely shine. He's a physical specimen. He's insane. He can create something out of nothing when you're going forward. And he's come off a club season where he was awarded the John Eales Medal, which is the Player of the Year for Australian rugby, and he won that back-to-back. So his form the past 2 years has just been on the up and up. And I really think that he can be a catalyst for Australia going into the later stages of the tournament. The poor Welsh, man. They've already had Corey Allen, Samson Lee, Aaron Jarvis and Paul Jones injured this tournament. Their group was going to be hard enough when they were fully healthy, being in the group of death with Australia and England, but still, these injuries have surely got to hurt. And yes, pun intended. But seriously, at the moment, at this rate, they'll be calling up any high caliber athlete soon. I'm not surprised if someone's going to put a call through to Madrid and see if they can call up Gareth Bale. Surely this is going to be frustrating for the fans. All this country does is play rugby and have a strange affinity for sheep. They're currently like a less successful, more injured, Northern Hemisphere version of the All Blacks. Speaking of the All Blacks, their game against Argentina in that first round, or the first phase, whatever you want to call it, was great. It was possibly, with the exclusion of Japan and South Africa, just merely for that shock value, was potentially the game of the first round. Argentina are a quality team. They've been improving each year since they've been included as the Rugby Championship, where they get to play quality teams all the time, like Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. They made New Zealand work for that victory, and New Zealand left a lot of points out in the field. But that being said, they're not the best team in the world for no reason. They still came through, showed their class in the end. But Argentina are strong technically. They love the set piece and they love the breakdown. So it was a really good game to watch, and hopefully Argentina can still make it out of that group and hopefully cause an upset or two in the quarterfinals. So lastly, brings me to tournament favourites. Obviously New Zealand are there. They've been the best team in the world for the better part of 12 or 13 years. They won the previous World Cup in New Zealand. Also, Australia for me is going to be up there, in case you didn't hear the accent or the very obvious jersey here. That's my team. I think we're going to do great. I'm hopeful we're going to beat England in the group stage. Our set piece has improved dramatically. We're not giving away anywhere near as many penalties in the scrum. And we still have that characteristic running rugby flair that trying to score tries is like our goal. So I feel that mix of discipline that we now have at the set piece, added with the backline talent that we have, I feel should be a great mix. Obviously you've got South Africa. If they decide to snap out of the poor run of form they've been in, they're a world-class side and they're a world championship winning side. They've got talent all over the place. So I feel if they pull together and snap out of whatever's causing this funk of theirs, I think they're going to be great. But that being said, they'll be playing a class side as early as the quarterfinals now, since they lost to Japan, especially if they come second in their group. Lastly for me, my only other real potential like World Cup winner is England, playing in front of their home fans. They're going to be raucously cheered on every single game. They're going to play every game through the 80 minutes. They're going to seem to have extra juice in their legs. They're going to seem to be just pumped beyond belief. They're going to be ready, and this is in front of their home fans. That always seems to add like an extra man, extra two. So they're going to be ready to go. They're obviously going to want to win for themselves, but they're going to be cheered on non-stop for the whole game. So I feel with that support, they could deliver some winning rugby. I'm not going to say great rugby because it's probably going to be boring Northern Hemisphere style rugby, but ball, snore. A win's a win. So if they lift that William Webb-Ellis trophy at the end, nobody's going to care how they played. So that being said, I'm Dylan Cleary. That's been my review of what's happened so far with the World Cup, and yeah, we'll get back to you with more as it unfolds. Cheers, guys.